All right. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us on our first ever live here on YouTube. We've been told it always takes a little bit for this to start broadcasting. So I'm going to be rude and look down and make sure that this is coming through. If anybody wants to just, even if you don't have a question, let me know. I'm just going to look at my app here and see. Yeah, so I'm just going to wait a few seconds here. It should. So far, I don't see it. All right, so I think we probably will just start talking, and hopefully the live will catch up. On my app, it doesn't look like it's broadcasting as of yet, but I'm assuming it'll catch up. So we are here. Where are we right now?
Live from New York. It's Digital Roamads on the internet.
Yeah, so we're in New York City. We're staring at a building, a famous building, the Empire State Building. So we've been here. We're going to be here about 17 days. So we've got just a few days to go. And then we are heading out. So we thought we would do a few things here. We would kind of cover where we've traveled to. I do see it's kind of streaming now. We're going to kind of cover where we've traveled to over the last, this summer, what we have coming up for travel as well. And then we got a few topics that we want to share with all of you, a few tips, some advice, that sort of thing. And then hopefully some of you will be able to ask some questions. Obviously, we know we're a smaller channel. We're just getting going. So if you do have some questions, go ahead and just put those into the chat. If not, no big deal. But we're more than happy to answer any questions on travel, booking with points, on cruises, how to get best deals, anything like that. Kind of share a little bit about the lifestyle, which some people may or may not be aware of. Maybe Monica give them some details, a little bit of, what we've really been doing here over the last year and a half or so.
Yeah, so we've always traveled a lot, but I guess it was 2023, March, we decided to go full-time nomadic. So we got rid of the place, we sold our car, and we went all in on nomad travel. So we've been all over the world, really, in the last couple of years. Every now and then we dip back into the U.S. to visit family, friends, and our storage unit, things like that. But we're kind of on that arc right now, getting ready to head back to Europe in about 4 days.
Yeah, we'll head out on Friday, and let's go back just a little bit before we do that, and just sort of cover a bit of the summer, sort of where we were. Honestly, I don't always remember because it sometimes goes by in a blur. Doing this, we're, like Monica mentioned, we're traveling full time. But some of the highlights, definitely, we did Portugal with some friends, which was amazing. We also went to Barcelona, back into Portugal. We did Bristol in the UK because we have the 90-day visa problem. So in 180 days, we can only stay 90 days in the EU. Then we need to get out. So we basically had to go to Bristol for a week, which was actually a lot of fun. It's a great little city. Then we went back into Europe, and we went to the south of France, to Caen. And we were there for 2 weeks. My sister came to visit. And then we went off to Dublin, and we took a cruise on Azamara. And that was a Scotland-Ireland intensive, from what I recall. And then what did we do from there? And
then we went to, we ended up in Norway. And we went to the Netherlands to do a little music festival.
Yeah, and we went to Amsterdam and then went down to the music festival. And then we were definitely out of time on the 90 days. So we had to go to someplace brand new for us. And we went to Albania. So we were there about 9 days or so. I think. Is that right?
Something like that.
Yeah,
or 2
I think
weeks.
so.
Maybe
2 weeks.
10, 11. It's hard to remember.
Yeah.
First time to Albania, and it was really awesome. Super, super hot. July is not the best time to go unless you're going to be sitting on the beach. But it was a really nice experience.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a good experience. I think Monica probably loved it more than I did, but I enjoyed it. It was definitely a cool experience. The history was great. The people were really nice. So it was a good trip overall. And then we really came back to the States, and we ended up going to Madison, visited with friends, our daughter, her friends. It was amazing. And where else did we go? Went to California, visited some family, back to Texas. And now ultimately we went to Mexico for about a week or so.
Yep. And a day trip to Milwaukee, which was also very cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. as well. So that's kind of been the bouncing around. And you can see we bounced around quite a bit here this summer. And now we're kind of transitioning over to Europe, where we're going to do a week in Rome with some friends. We're going to do a week in Barcelona and a week in Paris. Our daughter, her girlfriend will be coming for those 2 weeks. So that's going to be a great time. And then we're going to go back to Rome for 2 weeks. And then we're going to be getting on a cruise ship. We're going to be doing a transatlantic on the Royal Caribbean Odyssey of the Seas. And we'll be coming back. And what's interesting is we took that ship
in April of this year out of Florida to Rome. So we spent a few weeks on that, going to Europe, and now we'll be coming back.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. And then we'll be in the States and all that good stuff.
We're going to put ourselves in position to get to Maryland for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to do another cruise because I know a lot of you watch the channel because of the cruise. We actually have a river cruise coming up on Viking. We've never done a Viking river cruise. We've done river cruises on Alma, Avalon, Tauk, and Uniworld. Thank you. So those 4. This will be our first Viking, but we're going to do the Christmas market. So we're looking forward to sharing that experience with all of you on the channel. We'll tell you what we liked, what we learned, kind of the best way to do it. We think we've got a great one planned. That'll be in December. So very much looking forward to that. And we'll certainly share all those details with you. And then later on, we're going to be heading off to Bangkok. And we have another cruise coming up, Panama Canal. That's a first for us on Oceania. So that'll be our second ever Oceania cruise. So we can answer any questions about all that as well. I thought something that was kind of interesting that we would share is we looked at 2024 to see where did we stay. So we actually stayed over 6 months in hotels in 2024. Now, I know for a lot of you, you might be frequent travelers, but you're not spending 6+ months in hotels. But we did about 195 nights in hotels. We are working hard on getting globalist status on Hyatt. We will have it on our very next day for all next year. You need 60 nights in Hyatt. So we're very, very close. We have Platinum Elite on Marriott. So we've been earning those. We did a little bit of Airbnb in 24, not nearly as much as we did last year, about 39 nights. We were cutting way back on Airbnb. We can talk about that if you have any questions why. And then we have these fractional homes that we have ownership in, a company called August Holiday Homes. We did about 40 nights overall on those. So we will overall in 2024. I hope to put together a video on that to kind of share the economics of that and why we signed up for that and why we're doing it. And then we almost had 70 nights on cruise ships in 2024. We're going to beat that in 2025. And then, some vacations and visiting friends and flight layovers. So that was pretty much the year overall. All right. So anyway, wanted to kind of do that. Let's see. Tom says, nice. I'm taking a Panama Canal in February. Easy.
East to west.
East to west. Okay. So we are going west to east, right? We're going out of LA. Yeah. We're going to end up in Miami, I believe. Yeah. So Miami. So it should be great. Tom, what cruise line are you going on that one? Like I mentioned, we'll be on Oceania. We got some really cool stops along the way. We're going to hit Guatemala for the first time. That'll be a new country for us.
Yeah.
We have friends in Guatemala that we're looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Colombia is also a new country.
That's a first. Yeah. We had to cancel a trip to Colombia a few months ago. So that'll be our first time touching that country.
Princess.
Where else are we going?
Tom's going on Princess.
Oh, on Princess. Awesome. Tom,
really
that
nice.
Should be a great trip. Yeah. That should be super. We've sailed quite a bit on Princess. We haven't in the last few years, but we do have one planned actually on Princess.
In Japan next year.
Yeah, April 2025. So we're meeting back up with some great friends of ours. So we are looking forward to that. That should be a great time. So those are some of our plans. Good to see. Yeah, and if you have any questions, I know there's a small group of you watching. Just type those into the chat. We'll be happy to answer those. So let's kind of move on. There are a few more things that we did want to share during the live as well. There's a link down below, and you'll see it later on. You can look at it, and it's the Transfer Partners cheat sheet. I know a lot of you watch the channel for our cruise information and advice on how to save money on cruising, as well as other money-saving hacks. Points is a big thing. I've posted quite a few, not quite a few, but several videos on using points. For instance, when we fly on Friday to Rome, we're going to fly out of New York to London and then London to Rome on British Airways. And we're going to fly business class. And we always fly business class to Europe. I can't remember the last time we did not fly business
on a long haul
to Europe on a long haul, but I never pay for it. We never pay for it. We just use points. So that is our hack. I know a lot of you probably are doing the same thing. If you are not, you need to get into this game if you have any long haul travel. I don't mind domestic flights, coach, no big deal. It's totally fine. But really on the long hauls, when it's 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, we've had flights that have been 24 hours. When you put 2 flights together, I mean, you can't beat being in business class. So the Transfer Partners cheat sheet is going to really help you start to understand which credit cards have the most transferable partners overall. So you can use that to say, okay, if I sign up for a Chase card and get ultimate reward points, what airlines can I potentially book on with those points versus American Express or Capital One or Bilt or CitiCard? I mean, my favorites, oh, it's really hard. If I had to choose, where would I start? Gosh, I do love the Venture X card from Capital One. I think that's a fantastic card. And I think from Chase, your Sapphire Preferred or your Sapphire Reserve, if you want to spend a little bit more, amazing cards with good sign-up bonuses, with really transferable points. Personally, we usually do not like to sign up directly with like a United card, a Delta card, an American card until later on in the strategy. Then there's definitely places for it. But when you do that, you can only use those points on just that airline. Versus if I accumulate Chase points, I could use it on dozens, really, probably, of different airlines. So this transfer cheat sheet's a really great way for you to see what you can do. Plus, it also shows hotels, alliances, and all that sort of thing. So use it. It's really, really great. I've tried to do this on my own in the past, but the folks at Daily Drop just have done an amazing job. And they keep this up to date. You know, they update this all the time.
Yeah, because this can all get very complicated really very fast. So
for sure.
It's nice when they lay it out nice and organized.
Yeah, and also a video. It's not posted down below, but I kind of show you how to use tools like Point.me to where you can search all these airlines without having to go to the individual airlines to fly to find your seats. I used to do that. It was a nightmare. And then I would pay somebody to do it for me because it would take so much time and they were an expert. But I haven't had to pay that person in several years now because of sites like Point.me and Points. It's much, much easier to go ahead and find flights. I was just working on for my sister some flights for her from DC to Paris. Yes. And then from London back to DC. Same thing, use the same tools. We were able to find some really excellent redemptions, but there's some tricks. And that's why you should watch those videos because I've had to learn some things on how to find the best redemptions. They're not always readily available. So speaking of points, something else down below on that same link is current transfer bonuses. This is something where, for instance, right now, if you have American Express points, you can transfer to British Airways and get a 30% bonus. Now, these are speculative. Sometimes you don't want to do this unless you're really confident that when you transfer, you're going to have some bookings coming up in the next year or two with that airline. I know Capital One right now is transferring at 20%. This is amazing. To Air France and KLM on Flying Blue. We use them all the time flying to Europe. So it's KLM or it's Air France or something through Flying Blue. So I would never have a problem taking a speculative transfer to get 20% more points. In fact, my sister on one of her flights, we kind of lucked out because she had Capital One points. The bonus was going on. So like a 70,000 point redemption turned out to be like 50 something thousand points for a business class ticket that was worth about $3,500. So anyway, I know I talked about that a little bit. It excites me. It's just such a really amazing way to travel. And if you're doing any of these transatlantics, transpacifics, you need to get to that location one way. Is there any better way to do it? Go business class one way, take a cruise back. I mean, talk about an amazing trip. And maybe when you fly out to Barcelona or Rome, you know, spend a week there. I mean, that's an incredible trip overall. Let me hop back over. There may be some more questions here. So Vicky says we'll be doing Panama Canal with Holland America in February. Awesome. We're all doing the Panama Canal. Yep. I don't know if Vicky or Tom, if you've done Panama Canal before. We haven't. That'll be our first time doing it. We have been to the Panama Canal, right?
We've been there, but we have not sailed through it. Not yet.
Yeah, we visited. We did a week-long Panama trip, right? Or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Land-based. Let's see. Tom says, I debated Japan in April versus October and picked October so I could take the Constellation Transatlantic in April instead. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, the Constellation's got some great deals. We're going to be releasing a video on Thursday with some more transatlantic and transpacifics. And yes, one of them definitely is on Constellation with Celebrity. It's going to focus just on Celebrity, transatlantic and transpacifics because we did a survey and that's towards the top of the most popular cruise lines for our channel that we have. We have lots of Azamara people, Royal people, et cetera, of course, as well. But we're going to do one specifically on celebrity. If there are other cruise lines you want us to look at for great deals, let me know in the comments here in the chat, and I'm more than happy to maybe put together, best deals on, Princess in the Caribbean or Alaska or Holland America. We kind of want to try to put out more of those because a lot of people really got a lot from those videos, and we heard quite a bit of people booking as well. So you're going to be doing Japan in October, which is amazing. We're going to do it in April. We were in Japan last April. Have we ever done Japan in October? When have we done Japan?
I don't think so. We done it in July, which is super hot also. We've done it in January, and we've just recently did it in April, which was a great time.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, busy.
I think we had a video where we ranked our top countries, and I think Japan for both of us was number one. Is that right?
Yeah. Okay. But I think, and that's mostly for the food, but I think spring or fall probably is optimal there.
Yeah. Another thing is next time when we do a live, by the way, we will upgrade our system a little bit and be able to do some screen share because we like to show things. We don't usually just talk in front of the camera like this. If you watch our videos, we're in the front for a while, then we're in the corner because I don't know. I want to teach you things, show you things, share things. We'll do that next time. But we do have a question here on how do we accumulate? I think it was from Vicky, points so fast. The best way by far to get points quickly is sign-up bonuses from credit card companies. There is a link as well in the description. If you click that, you'll see our favorite cards right now in September. It's always updated. We partner with Daily Drop as well to help us do the research. And you can see there's some really great signups right now on Capital One cards and also American Express. Those are my favorites right now. There are some hotel specific ones too. I never got hotel cards until really just this past year. I mean, I think the first thing you really want to go for are the Capital Ones, the American Express, the Chase cards. The next layer then maybe is like a hotel card, like from Hyatt or Marriott. You can't buy status on Hyatt, unfortunately. You can on Marriott with their high-end card. You can get Platinum Elite. It's an expensive card, but if you see all the sign-up bonus you get, you can easily pay for it several times over in the first year or even 2 years, no problem. You don't have to keep the cards forever. After the sign-up bonuses, I suggest usually keeping the cards for 2 years. You don't want to churn them because some credit card providers don't like that. So I wouldn't sign up for a card, use it for a year, take the bonus, and cancel it. Wait, pay for the second year on the annual fee. Almost always you'll get the annual fee back with the perks that come with those cards. But that's the best way to do it. It takes a while on spend. Unless you have a business, then spend can be great. So in the past, when I've had some businesses that spend a ton of money on inventory and advertising, man, I racked up so many membership miles on American Express. I do miss those days. After I sold my business a couple of years ago, but that was a great way to do it. But sign-up bonuses are where it's at. Do you want to add anything on that?
No, I was going to say, we had a lot of spend with some of our businesses, mine as well, but the sign-up bonus is really the way to start that ball rolling.
Let's see what else we got here. Tom says, so Tom, you're doing some frequent cruising. I have 2 Holland trips booked next year. We have never done Holland America. Ever, right? Yeah,
it's funny. We booked one once and we had to cancel it.
Well, we canceled it because we had different plans in 2025. We had some changes. We're going to be staying a little bit in Florida, so we're kind of going to be doing a little bit of real estate down there. So we had to cancel that. So we still want to do it because the music venues sound really cool, but we haven't had a chance yet. Let's see, places on the list. Travel plans coming up. Escorted small group tour of Turkey. Amazing. Transatlantic home from Southampton, Sky Princess. We may have been on the Sky Princess.
Sounds familiar.
I think we have. January 25th, Island Princess, LA to Cape Town.
Cape Town. That's one of my favorite cities. Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Take us on that one. Yeah, Cape Town's incredible. I'm not sure if you've been there before, but pretty amazing. We toyed a few times with a cruise on Azamara from where? It was.
There was one that went down the east side of Africa, not all the way to South Africa.
Yeah, not always South Africa, right? Had some really amazing stops.
Mauritius and
Madagascar, or no? Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, no, Mauritius, Madagascar, Marriott, Zanzibar, and Kenya. That was a really cool itinerary.
Trans-Pacific from Tom doing on Holland America from Seattle. Great friends of ours, Jeff and Karen, maybe listening or watching this on replay. They're doing a Trans-Pacific coming up, and we are going to be doing one sort of, in 2026.
Yeah, coming back from Australia to Hawaii. So that'll
Exactly.
be pretty exciting first time in South Pacific, I think.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. What cruise line is that on? Oh, that's Celebrity on the Edge, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think it's on the Edge.
I think so.
You can also continue that. We could have continued, I think, from Hawaii to Vancouver or Seattle. So there are ways to get the whole distance. We're just doing that initial long leg from Sydney to Hawaii.
I was going to say we really love repositioning cruises. And the older we get, the more we love sea days too. So the repo cruises are a great way to get from one place to another. It's your transportation, but then it's like living on a ship for a week or 2 or 3. So we really enjoy those.
Yeah, for sure. Vicky says, that would be great as I have some questions on how to put together itinerary using AI. Yeah. So we do have a video on that. So what I'll try to do is go back into the description and add some links basically to the description with some of the videos I keep mentioning, because I did put together 1 or 2 videos on using AI. I also, in this description, have a ChatGPT. It's a custom GPT, basically. It's called Shore Explorer. It's free. You can just take that link. You do have to have ChatGPT, the monthly subscription, which is $20 a month. I think it's so worth it. But if you take my link and you've got that, you'll be able to go to my Shore Explorer that I put together and just tell it where you want to go. It's City Explorer if you want to do like more than one day, and then I have Shore Explorer, which is for a day in a port. But you can really use either one for both. Just tell it a little bit about yourself, and it will spit out an amazing itinerary for you. I used the City Explorer one, the one I have linked down below, for the plans in Rome, Barcelona, and Paris. So it was really incredible. And I kept having questions, like we were trying to figure out a day trip from Rome. And I was like, well, first I had to ask it, just kind of help me out. Like, how do I get there? How do I get from Rome to this city? You could, of course, do Google searches, but it takes forever to kind of parse through them. It gives you a direct answer right away, which is really nice. So super fast. And then I could say, well, it was a Sunday and the schedule was kind of minimal. Are there other ways to get there? It will kind of help you out with that as well. Well, tell me what the top sites are to see. Compare these 2 cities that I'm debating. What if I like, food and sites, but I don't need museums? Which one would be better? It'll really like having a real conversation with a travel expert.
Yeah, it's essentially a conversation that you just go back and forth and refine your search and get the information that you need.
Yeah, so never think of it like you are limited to where you're just going to ask a question one time, and then after that, you won't.
Because it remembers your previous questions. And it can pick it right up.
Sorry, I was just making a note, making sure that we have that. All right, let's see what else we got here on the chat. ChatGPT. ChatGPT is great. That would be my recommendation. Google also has Gemini. They have a free version of Gemini and a paid. You can always Google Gemini AI. It is really good as well. I find the travel planning itinerary type of stuff better on ChatGPT. Gemini is maybe better for creative writing, but you don't need creative writing when it comes to planning an itinerary. So that would be my recommendation, to use ChatGPT for that. Tom, I was in the Edge earlier this year in New Zealand. You'll enjoy it. We've been on the Edge.
We were on the Edge. I can't remember. Was it before COVID or after?
No, the Edge was the crossing, or was that Apex when we crossed?
Apex, the one we.
Yeah, so Edge was before COVID.
Yeah, Edge was before COVID. We were on the Apex, the first manned or passengered crossing from Europe to the US after COVID, with CDC people on board. So that was a special one.
Yeah, a lot of masks, a lot of that sort of thing. So yeah, we had a lot of that. Vicky says, well, we're doing a repositioning on Royal Caribbean from Japan to LA in May. Looking forward to it. That also sounds incredible. Yeah, so you guys have some really nice trips planned. Kirk says, have you sailed Oceania? If so, how does it compare to Azamara? Okay, so we have done 4 Azamara, right?
Yes.
And then we've done, we have 1 at least planned still. And we've done 1 Oceania on Riviera. And that one was, remind me where we went.
Yeah, that went out of Trieste and it went down to Greece and Turkey.
Yeah. We have another one planned. Our Panama Canal, like we mentioned, will be on the Vista. So it'll be the newer Vista class ship. So we wanted to purposely book on that one. So I'm going to give you my opinion. Overall, there may be some people listening who will disagree or agree, because we put a video out just recently on Azamara versus Viking. they're both great in their own ways. There were some differences, and we had a favorite. It's subjective. These decisions are always subjective. What I found with Oceania was I thought the food was very good, but not as good as they were billing. They bill themselves as the best at sea. I don't agree with that. So, but I think it's very good. I don't think you'll dislike the food, but I don't think it was quite what I was anticipating, which is why we wanted to book the newest ship. The specialty restaurants were nice. We got one visit each. I believe those were included, which is cool. And we also had quite a few shore excursions that were included because they have, I forget the name of it, but even on the one we have coming up, we were able to get, 4 or 5 shore excursions for our credit that we got, our onboard credit for shore excursions, which is neat.
Yep.
So the entertainment, I remember, I didn't think was very good. I thought it was really average and very kind of showgirly, if that makes sense. Very standard, very traditional, was not really innovative from what I remember. The cabin, unbelievable, right?
Oceania,
Yeah,
the best bathroom I think we've ever had. It was gorgeous.
And we weren't upgraded to a suite. We were just in a balcony cabin. It'll blow Ozmar's cabins away, obviously, because Ozmar ships are older, they're smaller. If you do a continent suite on Ozmar, they're amazing, but it's quite a bit more money. A standard balcony, it's fine. It's very comfortable in Ozmara. If you have to get over the curtain with the shower curtain, not the best. But so you don't really do it for amazing cabins, but they're very comfortable, very clean. They have everything you need. There's, you'll sleep well. Air conditioning has been really good on them. But Oceania, I think the food was actually better on Azamara and actually better on Viking for me personally. Didn't love the shows. We also waited a long time sometimes to get sat for some reason at the restaurants there. That was a little frustrating. Do you remember any other things specifically on Oceania?
Not offhand.
Yeah. So we were on the fence about booking again, but we're like, oh, you know what? We're going to go for the new ship, the new design. We didn't like the coffee shop on the older Oceania. It was in a weird spot. There were just little quirks about it that we just didn't love. It wasn't an amazing experience, but we liked it enough to give it another chance. We got a really good deal on the Vista, and we're hoping some of the tweaks and the improvements will kind of appeal to us. It'll be a little bit more modern.
Absolutely.
I think the internet was terrible too. So I'm hoping they'll have Starlink on the new one.
The new ship. So
let's see. So Vicky says, next time when you can share your screen. Yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to do a video. I actually have a video planned in the next 2 weeks or so where I'm going to show you how I'm using AI, the new City Explorer, and how to use that, how to use Gemini, and another one called Claude. So actually, Vicky, I'm making a video for you coming up soon. That's a great question though. But if not, yes, the next live, I'll make sure that I can show what it's like. So JG says my vote is Azamara hands down. Yeah, it's a cult favorite. When we go on Azamara, it always amazes me how many cruises Azamara people have been on. Right?
Yeah. No, it struck us the very first time we were on Azamara how friendly fellow passengers were. They're just well traveled. You sit down at dinner and they just start talking, and it's real easy to have a conversation. And we really liked the vibe. It wasn't uptight, really. Some cruise lines can be a little stuffy, but it wasn't that at all. It's just, people maybe our age that just travel a lot. So
yeah, very friendly. Yeah, it was startling. I guess our first cruise that we did with them. I think we did Israel and Egypt was our first one on Azamara. It was wow. So we were willing to look past sometimes the older cabins and that sort of thing, just because the overall experience, we got off the ship and just felt really good. All of them really we did the Japan one was incredible. Ireland and Scotland. It's just, I don't know. We have little things that you quibble about. I can always criticize things on each one. There were a few things, but overwhelmingly positive to where it didn't matter.
Yeah, the crew is always very friendly. We love the destination intensive itineraries. They're always very cool. And then we did like you said, the Ireland and they have the small ships so you can get into the smaller ports, and it's just kind of a different itinerary than you see with other bigger ships.
Yeah, no lines. You will not have a line at all on Azamara, which is cool. And look, as you can see, we're sailing on Odyssey of the Seas. We don't mind sailing on big ships too. We've sailed on the Oasis, the Allure. They're just different experiences. Celebrity, Edge are not small ships. They're fun too. We like to vary things up a lot. We don't stay really loyal to a single ship. We have a little bit of loyalty towards certain cruise lines because we've earned a lot of perks. So, we know on Royal and celebrity, we're pretty high up, so we get free drinks and things like that. We do look that way sometimes. Which reminds me, Virgin Voyages, we released a video a couple weeks ago. We've had great experiences on Virgin Voyages. No problem for our age, not a problem at all. It's a lot of fun. They're doing status matching right now. So if you do book on them and you have status on other cruise lines, I think even other programs, even hotel programs, cruise lines, so any status that you have, if you're even thinking about a Virgin cruise, go ahead and do that and do a status match. You can find it very easy in Google, or we can put the link down below where you can do a status match with them. And the perks that we've gotten have been bar tab, free specialty coffees, free laundry, upgraded Wi-Fi, I don't know, a few other things, a concierge, that sort of thing. So Virgin is it's a really fun cruise line, very modern. But I think any age range will be totally happy on their, we're in our 50s to late 50s, really late 50s. And there were people older than us, younger than us. So really good time.
But it's adults only. So,
Yeah.
We don't have kids running around. They have 3 ships and they got a 4th one that's coming on this next year. And they're opening up all kinds of new itineraries. They're going to have a Panama Canal repositioning cruise in 2026 and cruises into Alaska as well.
Which we're going to go on one of those. We've already kind of signed up and said they did a thing where we put the deposit down, and then I guess we get first dibs at the bookings for Alaska, because they expect it to be quite popular on the new ship. So we're really looking forward to that. Brilliant Lady, is that the one?
The Brilliant Lady. Yeah, we got to figure out how to get that Rockstar suite.
Yeah, I know. We did an upgrade once with some great friends of ours, and we did no, we didn't do an upgrade with them. We just went right for it because we got an incredible deal. And it was on the Valiant Lady. It was amazing. And then I tried to upgrade on one of them, on the Resilient Lady, when we went from Singapore to Sydney. And I think I just missed because I talked to some other people. They just beat us out. So we'll try again. But there's a point to where it's worth it for sure. So status matching, definitely do that. There's always status match things going on. We have done a video on status matching. I've shared some websites that you can go to. I know in September, I've seen status match things for Delta, JetBlue, United, MGM, Resorts, American Airlines. So use status that you have and on one product and see if you can broker it to another one. It's not always available, and sometimes that match only lasts like 90 days or something, but it's really worth it. It's another little trick of the trade that you can do. And sometimes it's filling out a form or making a quick phone call or going to your online account. So definitely do that. Another thing I do want to share, I'll make sure I haven't missed any questions, and I want to share with you a little bit of information about buying points from hotels, because IHG has a great bonus going right now, and so does Hilton, which is ending tonight. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Let me make sure we didn't skip anything. Kirk says, is there any trick to getting deals on Viking? Seems impossible. Yeah, so this is what we do on Viking. I kind of agree with you. There are not amazing deals. Viking does run specials, and they do run some things during wave season. They'll probably run some things during the Black Friday event. So I would be looking then. But we work with a cruise-only travel agent, and she's been incredible to us over the years. And so we'll basically have her do the booking or take over the booking. And then we always get some very generous onboard credit. The way these travel agencies work, they really can't discount the cruise itself. It's really against the terms in their contracts, but they can give you extras. So we get really aggressive from her onboard credit because we know what we want. We know what we want to sail. It's not a lot of work for her. She doesn't do research for us. So if anybody is interested in a referral, we don't get any compensation for it. If you go to digitalroamads.com, our website, and definitely go to our website, there's a link down below as well where you can go to the website and get our free giveaway on a whole bunch of more travel tips and hacks. So if you want to do that, you can do that. But go to the contact form and just fill that out real quick. Say, just give us your name, email, and say, looking for the cruise referral. The reason we don't give out her information is because we don't want to overwhelm her. We're not a huge channel, but the channel is growing pretty quick. We are getting some videos that are seeing 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 views. We don't really want her to have to do tons of research for people. The idea is that you kind of sort of know what you want. And it could be a few different cruises, or you might want to hear about a balcony and a suite. And then she'll give you really great deals overall. But you can also use a website called Cruise Compete, which is originally where I found her years ago. It doesn't look very pretty, this website, but you can put requests in there and some other travel agents will bid basically on your cruise. So that might be another way to do it. We've got some really nice onboard credit on Viking before, I don't know, sometimes up to 10% of what the cruise has cost. So that might be something to think about. All right, let me just share the additional thing I wanted to share with you about points. Again, I want to do screen share next time because then I can really show you stuff, but we'll do that next time. So Hilton tonight, I think probably midnight, is ending their offer where if you buy points, you can get 100% bonus. So that's the only time I probably would buy points on Hilton, and only if you will stay on Hilton Resorts. They got all kinds of great brands. So there's tons of amazing brands with Hilton. I was going to try to look. What are Hilton brands? Sometimes I forget. From Waldorf Astoria, Conrad Hotels, Kennedy by Hilton, Signia, Hilton Hotels, of course. There's a whole bunch of different brands. Curio, we've stayed at before, DoubleTrees, Tapestry, Embassy Suites, a lot. Hilton Guardian Inn. Basically, yes, it's a little speculative if you buy points. Definitely make sure when you do the point redemptions, you do have to do a little research because sometimes the points are way too high for the hotel, especially in big cities at peak time. Like I looked at it when we were in Austin recently. It was like the points they wanted per night was ridiculous. Even with the 100% bonus, it may not totally work out. But IHG is running a similar promotion right now, 100% bonus. It's targeted, meaning when you log into your IHG account, you won't always get, not everybody is getting the 100% bonus, but you might if you haven't bought points with them. So we bought 250,000 points with them when I was targeted a few months ago. That cost me $2,500. It's not cheap, I realize, but I got 250,000 free points. So I got 500,000 points. I turned around and I used that. And by the way, IHG's got high-end hotels like Intercontinental, Kimpton, Six Senses, Crown Plaza, all the way down to your Holiday Inns, your Staybridge, all that sort of thing. And we're using Staybridge actually in Bangkok, and we're staying for almost a month, pretty close, from December through into January. And I used 427,000 points. Those points basically cost me about $2,000. Okay, because as I said, I spent 2,500. I'm not using all 500,000. I'm using like 400,000 and change. That same hotel was going to cost me at the time when I booked about $3,400 to $3,500. So you can see that's really good speculation. I knew if I used those points like in Asia, where they're really amazing on redemptions, Japan's incredible a lot of times with IHG, I was going to make my money back and more. And I typically expect to make about 50% on that investment, up to 100%. So my $2,500 investment, I know easily I'll probably, worst case, get probably $3,500 to $4,000 worth of hotels, probably more likely $5,000 or more worth of hotels. So there's a place for it. I would say don't buy points on Hilton or IHG less than 100% match. If it's over, you don't get targeted, just wait. They'll have a promotion going in a month from now, 2 months from now, and then you swoop in and you buy the points at that moment, and they do max you out. I think the cap was $250K for IHG, 240, I think, 240,000 for Hilton. And by the way, when you book on IHG with points, fourth night free. So if you look at the points on like 2 or 3 nights, if you go 4 nights or 8 nights or 12 nights, every fourth night is free. So that really starts to average down the points. Marriott does it every 5th night, and Marriott's amazing too. And then Hilton is 5th night. I think you need elite status on Hilton in order to get that 5th night free. But anyway, that is really the sweet spot when you do point speculation like this. You need to typically, I think, stay at least 4 nights at IHG or 5 nights like at a Marriott or a Hilton in order to get that discount. And then the points start to become very compelling. Anything you want to add on that?
I think you said it all.
All right, awesome. All right, let's see if there's any final questions because we kept you all a while here. Did we miss anything, Monica? So JG says staff in the dining room are also friendly and still professional. So JG, are you referring to Azamara? Yeah, great crew. I mean, yeah. In fact, one of the guys.
Oh, this is funny.
We were coming off the ship in
it was Ireland, somewhere.
Scotland, somewhere in Scotland. It was a Scotland port. And I'm like, that guy was like, but he was not in his uniform or anything. And he was like looking at me almost like trying to get my attention. And I was like, God, he looks really familiar, but I'm not sure. And I just kept going. And then later we were getting back on the ship and he stopped us, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, I think he remembered our name. He remembered.
I know.
He was our room steward. I think
he remembered seeing you working on your laptop.
Yeah. He's like, aren't you the one who was always working on his laptop? I'm like,
but it wasn't our last Azamara. I think it was one before that or something.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. I'm sure that's happened to people, but that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we talked about Viking. Best time to get deals on Azamara. Well, one, I'm sure, Vicky, you're on their list, right? I get emails every day. They are very aggressive with their promotions. Another thing I've noticed, maybe you've had this on Azamara, they've been offering, if you are booking way out in advance, a lot of times you'll get an offer by your email, or your travel agent will get it. And they will offer you, if you'll prepay early, up to an 8% onboard credit. So we got that for the cruise we're doing next October. They offered us 8% to do a final payment on that early. Now, don't do the final payment if you're not ready to kind of lock it in, that sort of thing. But that is one way to kind of stack onboard credit. Our travel agent always gives us onboard credit, so we get that. I would also, huge suggestion on Azamara and other cruise lines too, book on board. So when you book on board, and you have status in particular, the discount goes up and up and up. And I don't know where it starts, maybe like 5%, but I think we're like 7 or 8% now. I mean, and that's like on top of all the other promotions. That's just money back. And a lot of times on board, they'll give you free Wi-Fi or an upgrade to premium bed package or something like that.
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean, we booked on board. They're not super generous with what they give, but they give you a little bit. We got a little bit of extra onboard credit from them, but then we got our travel agent to give us more. So we booked on board, and we just tell them up front, this is our travel agent, and they already have it in their computer. And then she looks at it and says, okay, I'm going to throw you this extra amount as well. Yeah, and we can share the cruise agent, but again, we just need to do it through digitalromads.com. Hit the contact us, send us a quick email, and we'll send you her information. We just can't typically share it like this, just for the reasons that we mentioned. Otherwise, she might be mad at us if a lot of people are coming to her, wanting her to do a lot of research, because the idea is we want max savings from her, and for her not to do a lot of work. It's really easy for her to do our bookings, and we've had multiple people book through her already, and saying the same thing. It's awesome. It's quick. To the point, and that's what you need. All right. Anything else, Monica, you want to share with our fine folks here?
No, I think, thank you guys all for coming. Thanks for watching. I mean, it's very exciting to have people here asking questions. We love sharing, obviously. We love travel, and trying to find the cheapest, or at least cost-effective way to do it.
Yeah, best deals.
Best deals.
Even if it's not the cheapest, I'm just always looking, how can we maximize
your value?
Yeah, whether you're staying in suites, or you're staying in inside cabins, or you're staying in a Holiday Inn, or I don't know, you're staying at whatever, the Four Seasons. Let's just maximize the value. That's kind of what the channel is about. Definitely leave in the comments if you have other questions, you'd like us to cover other topics. That would help us a lot. Other non-cruise topics as well, because we want to make sure we're not just sharing stuff on cruising. I know that's a big part of the channel now, but we would like to share other things as well. So put that below. We have a video coming out, like I mentioned, Thursday on celebrity deals. We think we probably have one coming out this weekend on a trick that we like to use a lot, that I just used to save another 10% on a cruise. Use it on the hotel, the one we're in right now. We saved a lot of money on. So that'll be coming out this weekend. And then we want to do some other kind of cool stuff we have coming up. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Red Week. If you haven't, it's a really great way to get some amazing deals at some really great resorts, but there's some little tricks to using it properly. So we'll be sharing that as well. JG says there are so many cruise deal websites out there now. Yeah, look, a lot of the cruise deal websites are just aggregating all the stuff together because of the contracts that are out there. What everybody really does is they kind of have to sell the cruises typically at the going rate, unless they have a group cruise and they may be selling you part of their group cruise. It's the perks that are extra that you can get that they'll throw you away, that starts to make the difference overall. So yeah, good point. All right, that should be it. Again, thank you so much. Like Monica said, we really appreciate this is our first live. We appreciate those of you who were able to join us live. Those of you watching on the replay, we appreciate you too. It's been great growing the channel. We're getting very close to 3,000 subscribers. So if you don't mind, if you haven't, click subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. That would really help us as well. Get it out to more people and encourage us to do some more lives.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Again, take care, everybody. We'll see you out there.
Bye.